Welcome to the Rockhound Podcast. This week we have a returning awesome person. Go ahead and take it away.
My name is Jared, and I run the website and YouTube channel, currently Rockhounding.
Welcome back.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
So good to have you back. And a warm welcome to you all back hanging out with us. We so appreciate you tuning in. And we would love to know where in the world you are tuning in from. So let us know in the comments. I'm Karen from Ozone Rock.Hounding.Adventures out here in chilly Oregon. Kurt?
I am, sorry, I was a little distracted. My name is Kurt with Rockhounding.Adventures out in Western Colorado. And Kyle?
And I'm Kyle with World of Rockhounds, also here in Oregon. The three of us here on the podcast all share the same time zone.
He's the only one that smiled.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our introduction. So Karen, go ahead and take it away for shout outs.
Shout outs. First, thank you so much, Chris, for being on the podcast last week. Rufotris. Wow, I went like dyslexic on that one. Rooted Rockhounding. It was going to happen eventually. It was a great time last week. Thank you so much. Mama C was in the house. That was his mom. Cool. A bunch of us were hanging out with his mom in the chat and we had no idea. Oh, Mama C is Chris's mom. So, hey, thanks for coming by. Of course, all the rest of you in the chat, thanks as always for swooping in and having a great time with us, including you, Rookie. It's always super rad to hang out with you too. He always drops in and says how rad it is. Ragnar offered to be on at the same time as Chris the next time that we offer to have him on. That would be a good time, I think.
That'd be cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's an idea worth having. Claude suggested that Chris might be the next Dan Hurd, considering that he likes to do the gold and the rock hounding. So that would be great. I'm sure that he has certain aspirations in that regard as well. Michelle from Ontario, Canada, is hoping that we'll have Chris on again, and liked hearing how you got started into rock hounding question. The various answers from everyone. And it's interesting. A lot of the folks that have been watching the podcast more recently might not know how us folks, including Jared, got into it. So we might want to cover that really quick as we go along. And I got to agree with her. And if you have questions that you think are awesome for our guests, put them in the comments. We want to hear what you have to think out there as well, as far as your questions for the guests that come on. Rock and Roll Rockhound was gigging all weekend, and good on you. So he said he was going to be catching the podcast. Dustin was stoked to be hounding out with Brian Major over at Haunted Ridge. And I know a few of you have seen his question or the pictures that he's been putting up.
Oh, I heard he's been busy. He's been very busy over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. So we'll be looking forward to hearing from you for those stories when you come on the podcast. We need to get that scheduled up. Rockin' Road Rockhounding was loving the moss agate from last week and reveling over the rock microscopes and the microscopics. And had done some of that in school. And so it's crazy we get any work done, right, Jared?
Yeah.
We're talking about that today, look at it under the microscope. And, I know that half of my day is going to be gone if I turn that thing on at all. Patrick Hasu, the Crystal Lovers, Greek Explorers, Polly Paul, the Rockhound, and Michael Robertson all dug the podcast from last week. But we want to know, are you digging it? So let us know in the comments, and I might be shouting out to you next week. So send us also your show and tells and hit us up on the Discord. Check out rockhoundroundtable@gmail.com to send us those show and tells and to get an invite to the Discords. And thems are the shouts.
Thank you.
Get on with it. Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that we can move into how everyone's week was and future projects, current projects, stuff like that. Jared, what do you got?
I've just been mostly working on the website, writing articles and just computer stuff. So, but it's rock related, right? Like, trying to have a nice outlet for my thoughts and my ideas and all the different things I want to put out there in the world. So having a good website is important for that.
And
so.
what is that address for anybody who is tuning in for the first time ever?
It's currently rockhounding.com.
Surprise.
And it is very, very well done. You do
It's
a
so good.
spectacular job.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. It's the first real website that we've made. We're not like pros. So first pancake, it's the first one. And I got big plans for it. So
Oh, if Theo were here, like what was the pancake page that he belonged to?
Pokemon fan art pancakes, I think it was.
And look at how good your pancake is, Jared.
yeah. But yeah, it's going well. Katie she published a book, and she also wrote an article, which is now up on the website. And that's the thing that I want to start incorporating more in the future, is having guest writers on the website. So there'll be a big kind of community platform is kind of the ultimate goal, right? A platform specifically designed for people that do rock hounding, geological projects, lapidary, and a place to kind of dump it all,
That's nice that you have a place where we can like dump our brains.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's the plan. I mean, still it's in its infancy, like I recently saw Mindat. They turned, I think, 21. So they started in the year 2000. And to see what their website was on launch date versus today, it gives me hope that in 20 years, the website will be really, really great.
Awesome. Well, go check it out, people. What else you got going on, Jared?
I mean, rock hounding, which is going to be part of the show and tell, so I'm not going to spoil it. But, I've been consistently posting still content from when we went to Utah. We did a nice 10-day, 9-day trip, and we went to like 10, 11 locations. And I've just been trickle feeding those videos out.
It's nice to have.
We're trickle feeding our appetites on them. They're really
No, I mean, Utah was an amazing trip, and I would highly recommend anybody, if you can go to Utah. Like, make sure you have a full size pickup truck, because you're gonna want to bring that much.
Bring
stuff
everything
home.
back.
The petrified wood video that you did, like that log that was sticking out of that cliffside, like I would try my hardest to get the end piece out.
The cliff
How
was like,
many of us
it was
would
like
be like-
that. It was so steep.
Oh, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. That's actually a really interesting area. Now, I think this might be a little bit of a myth, but the locals will refer to it as Flying Monkey Mesa, because when they were testing ejection seats, they would shoot them off the cliff.
Huh.
But yeah,
That's
there's
an artifact I don't want to find. Yeah.
There's a big testing site right over there where they have like tracks, and they would launch ejection seats off into the ether.
Wow.
But yeah, it's beautiful down there. It's kind of interesting. Southern Utah is very much so southwest in feel,
Yeah.
So I wasn't really expecting that, but when you're down by St. George and the border right there, it does feel not like a mountain state.
No. I love that region down there. That's such a neat place with the, cedar breaks, and of course, Bryce and Zion and all that kind of stuff is hanging around down there in the grand staircase.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I still have a lot more Utah videos to post. So good stuff.
I do want to say it's pretty cool that you're able to do this for a living. Like, you don't have to worry about a normal day job where you just have to go to an office 9 to 5 and then have to wait until after you're off work or on weekends or holidays to go out and do this stuff. Like, you get to do this full time.
I do. But it is still, there's a lot to it. There's not just, people see a 20-minute video and they think that's it. But there's
No,
like
there's
a
hours
lot,
to it.
There's a lot going
Yeah.
on behind
You
the
mean
scenes.
you
to try
don't
to-
just sit and eat bonbons in front of the TV?
I prefer mine to melt, and I just toss them back.
Drink
in
the
one window.
bonbons.
Yeah, I just drink them.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is very much so a job. I mean, I'm sitting in an office dedicated to it, so it is that. So
Nice. Karen, what do you got?
Oh, what do I don't got? Let's see. Last week I dropped the makers video, which was like a serious hurdle. And so again, thank you, Theo.
Where is he?
Theo, where is he? Yet again, we don't have our fifth square. So he's actually getting better. He was fighting a thing and now he's getting better. Thank you so much, Theo, for the invite for that. Spoiler alert, that's what you're going to see at the end of the podcast for my show and tell. And that project absorbed so much time, and I know Kyle totally empathizes with this, that I had like customer orders stacking up and that sort of thing while I was doing it. And so now I'm just trying to get caught up. So I feel a little mild, Kyle, about this. I'm just trying to get those things getting out of the way. And I have another big surprise coming up next week though, which is crazy. Like this is the kind of set of waves that I do like to surf. Last week, it felt like they were all landing on my head and I was stuck in, the surf line, just getting them on the head. And so it looks like I get to surf a wave next week, which is super cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So stay tuned, kids. Next week, Karen says. So and until then, I've got some trip videos, kind of like Jared, in queue from that last trip. When I was getting the big saw, we hit a lot of different places, and when we weren't getting rained out, we actually did do some rock hounding. And so I've got some big locations coming up, and I'm crunching those videos right now. Kurt?
Well, so I mean, lately I've been getting out on a lot of hikes, but it's weird. Like every time I get out on a hike, if I forget my phone, I always find something really good. And every time I take my phone, I don't find anything at all. It's been like I can't video every time I go out rock hounding because I don't have my phone on me when I find stuff, when I'm finding stuff and so forth. But you'll get to see what I found as my show and tell a little bit later in the episode. But I found a pretty cool piece of rhyolite and a couple pieces of I guess like agatized petrified wood in a way. I finally have another rock hounding hunt video coming up this upcoming week, so it'll be my first one in like a few months. And then I have like a really cool project coming up that I'm going to try and work on, and which I can say it if you want to like silent the
I love doing that.
Like make
So-
the chimp squeal or something like that.
Yeah. So did y'all see the dragon's blood cabochon that I made?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use that material, and I'm gonna try to make. So, and then that'll be a gift for a nephew for his
Nice.
18th birthday. So as long
Oh,
as I can make it.
Like how young is this nephew, and is he going to hurt himself with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
He'll cherish it. So that's a project coming up.
Nice.
So
I can be sure to
Yeah.
blur that out.
yes,
Yeah.
please.
Cool. Thanks for
We
letting
keep
us
it on their edge.
Yeah.
I think
So-
people didn't really care for that last time. Like, you know what? It's fine. I find it humorous.
I
Just be
find
like-
humorous too.
It's like, what are they talking about? They'll find out
So-
eventually.
Yes.
So was that the end of yours?
So it's your turn, Kyle.
So I was doing pretty well with some projects, and then I hit a wall of loss of motivation. So literally, I was on track, getting stuff done, and then gone. Motivation is gone. So between trying to get customer projects done, I'm working on some really nice opalized wood that I showed you guys 2 podcasts ago. So I'm working on getting those done. Had a very interesting thing happen with one of the customer projects, which I told you guys about. I don't think I told Jared, but basically what happened was I'm working this blue lace agate, and I left it in the tray, thought nothing of it. Come back the very next day, and apparently whatever matrix is on there, it absorbed the water, and it just crumbled and broke apart.
Sad.
I mean, a
I
lot
like
of the
your
agate,
boo-boo lip there.
a lot of the agate is salvageable. As you know, I can still polish it up, but that one of the pieces isn't as big as it used to be, and I was like, oh man, that sucks. But I did warn the customer ahead of time. I was like, hey, I noticed a few cracks here and there. It might break apart upon being worked on. She's like, okay, that's not a big deal. At least I'll have more than one piece. Well, now she has more than one piece.
We're down
That's
to
a good
fractions. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Math.
part.
And then I'm working on an article for Jared's website. I'm not going to say what it is
Cool.
just yet. I will
Or you
say
could
it
say
is.
what it is and then blurb, like, keep it out.
I will say it's Obsidian related.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Temptress.
It's fine.
Hey, and if there's anybody out there that wants to write for the website, reach out to me.
That's cool.
It is
Great
mostly done.
information.
Yeah, I mean, everybody kind of has their own field of expertise, or maybe you're not even an expert. You're just like, you're really into this one thing, you know. It's a great opportunity to have a forever platform and share your passion.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, I've had people call me the master of Obsidian. I'm really not. And I don't like being called the master of anything.
But yeah, he really is. Sorry, man.
Well, the thing is, like, I can see stuff like on the finished surface that the camera still can't pick up, but I can see at certain angles of light. And I would love to invest in a 3000 grit wheel, which I think would actually further better the sanding finish what I get now. But still on camera, like, the finish looks like absolutely flawless. But when you look at it really close, you can see it's not perfect enough. So
I mean, the trick to polishing rocks is when you post photos, just make sure the angle's perfect.
Yes.
That's how you
And
do
the
it.
lighting.
The
I've
lighting
learned
and
that.
angle and everything, and whatever, right?
Smoke and mirror.
yeah, other than that, I did a quick video this week, and that's gonna be my show and tell. It's just more Fire Obsidian. Surprise, surprise there.
It's just fire obsidian.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Amy had noticed this. Like, oh, it's so pretty. I'm like, I can make you a necklace. She's like, no, that's okay, because Amy doesn't really wear a lot of jewelry, and
Because she would get it ripped off of her neck, by the baby.
well, even before that, because she works in the healthcare industry, so when she used to be a caregiver, there's that chance of stuff getting ripped off. So I think she never really let that phase. She will wear a sunstone necklace that I had done for a long time ago, but other than that, not much jewelry. But other than that, that is kind of my current week, and just future projects is the same usual. Just getting caught up. Some point, someday.
The treadmill of life. Edit,
Yes.
get cut up. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is what it
Polish,
is.
edit.
So that is our weeks. So we got a couple questions that we can touch briefly on, and then go from there. So Jared had a question that would have been a good question for us to try to tackle the best we could, anyway, because everyone's going to have their own opinion on this. Jared, do you want to reiterate what that question is?
I guess the question is, how do you think social media, YouTube, whatever, Facebook has affected the world of rock hounding? For the better, for the worse? What are your thoughts?
Karen, do you want to take this first, or?
I can like get us trotting out the gate on the first stretch. But I think that it's overwhelmingly positive because we all talked about this, how during especially these kind of shutdown year and a half, 2 years, that people have been totally indulging in social media, and it's so cool to get vicarious rock hounding through other people, through the skills of recognition of stones, all sorts of this mixing, including the community aspect where you get some socialization into the situation where you might have been totally alone beforehand. This is awesome. This is so cool. And it's so visual that you get all of this, the videos or a bunch of pictures posted, and you get comment streams. And when I think of social media, I think of Instagram and, your tweets or your TikTok or your YouTube or even the Discord, stuff like that. This is all people connecting. And I love to see people connecting over rocks. And I'll go ahead and pitch it off to the next as far as that goes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I agree with you, Karen, about how like because of the last 2 years, people have been on social media and watching videos and getting into the hobby and everything. And I believe that it for the most part there's a positive part, but there's also a negative side where if someone finds a mineral and they don't know what it is, they obviously they're gonna go to social media and post in some of the groups. And I've seen so many fights break out because of like someone says it's wood, someone says it's bone, someone says it's just mudstone.
Yeah.
They're like, don't take things personal that other people say. If you want to actually like know how to test the hardness and everything, Jared has a spectacular video he did on how to identify a stone. So go over to his channel and check it out. Don't waste your time on social media.
Shameless plug.
Thank you for the plug there.
Getting mixed answers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm like 60-40 on it being positive, negative. I think there's more 60% being in the positive, you know. I think it's great to be able to see what the rocks look like in Colorado. Like, I'm not going to go there anytime soon, but if I do, I have a better understanding. I mean, I'll be able to see that and see what other people have going on. Like, the community aspect is a very big thing. And with rock clubs effectively shut down or kind of dying, many of them across the country, kind of having a more digital rock club is very beneficial for a lot of people. I mean, things like this podcast didn't exist 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. It just wasn't there. Like, you had the in-person thing. And I think with that, you get some negatives. I mean, it is still the internet, and you have people that are kind of clout chasing, people doing that. I mean, for people that maybe don't know, that would be doing something specifically just for like the likes, which plays into it. I mean, and I think there's also some aspects of kind of like the blind leading the blind a little bit. And I mean, an example of that would be, I bought a rock tumbler last week, and I'm going to teach you how to rock tumble. Like,
there's a lot of that.
It's like this kind of like false expertise, which is hard for people that are maybe new to rocks and minerals to see through, because on the surface it's all the same. So that's kind of, I don't know. I as somebody that I make my living off of social media for the most part.
So you can't really diss it.
Yeah, I mean, that is an. I mean, I guess you don't have to. I don't like it, and that's kind of a big reason why I made the website. I was like, ultimately, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, and if YouTube goes away and I don't know, there's a new hosting platform that takes over, I can just move my stuff over and I have the platform, my platform,
Mhm.
and I kind of, that's my direction that I would like to take it, because I mean, I agree with what Kurt said, in that I've seen a lot of internet fights over rocks, which is stupid.
And dumb stuff.
I've had to break up a
Okay.
lot of internet fights.
This guy,
Yeah. Anybody who's a moderator.
yeah.
I give
Or
my
owns a
moderation
page.
team a lot of credit for.
Well, hold on. Can I interrupt
Okay.
you? You should let people know what you're talking about here, because people maybe aren't in Washington Rockhounds.
Okay. So, aside from doing the YouTube thing, YouTube was kind of the last thing I started, the most recent thing I started, I guess. I started a couple of Facebook groups, one for Oregon Rockhounds back in 2016, I believe it was. And then a couple of years ago, I started Washington Rockhounds. Both Facebook groups are the largest rockhounding groups on the West Coast. Did not expect that to happen, but it did. I figured the Oregon Rockhound group would have kind of petered out at like 10,000, maybe. And now it's over 30,000.
Wow.
And then the Washington Rockhound group is past, I think, 24,000 now, I think, last time I checked.
Crazy.
The Washington Rockhound group grew faster than the Oregon Rockhound group.
Yeah.
To a ridiculous amount. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it can be. Mainly because the Oregon Rockhound group, I've had some flack on it, because I tell people I don't want any posting of any material outside the state. Like, it is strictly Oregon material.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
And not to diss any other Facebook groups, but there's
Just them all.
but there was a couple that were like Northwest related, but I feel like the lines of Northwest were a little blurred, including Alaska, which is north. Like, that's about as north, almost as north as you can get. So it's not north, Rockhounds. It's, it should be like Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, Northern California. Just that's the kind of the Pacific Northwest. So I got tired of seeing all that, so I started my own group. That's kind of how it started. I'm like, all right, it's going to be location-based only, and that's it. And for giggles, of course, a few years after the Oregon group, I started the Washington one. For giggles. Figured, what the heck? Why not? I'll see what happens. It grew up. Like, it just blew out of proportion faster than I thought. And it, going back to why I said that could be a bad thing, because fast growth means not everyone knows what the group rules are. And you can have people that just disregard the rules or not know how things work, and they just kind of blindly hit accept or I agree without actually reading the rules. Because rules are there for a reason. And I'm a firm believer, at least for my pages, keep it rock related, keep it family friendly, because parents, their children can be looking at this stuff. So I don't want to be seeing like inappropriate stuff, swearing.
These are Facebook groups, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't think you mentioned that.
Yeah, they're Facebook groups. But there are people on there that say, hey, what is this material? And seeing people out there will say, I think, or it looks like, it can kind of be misleading, because these people are trying to find an accurate identification for the material. And for those groups, it does help to have a general idea of the location as far as at least the county. So, for example, if you pick up Obsidian, like, what is this? Well, what county is it from? Most of the Obsidian in Oregon comes from Central Oregon. Or, Sunstones. It's anyone that is from Oregon, typically, that's been in Rockhound for a long time, they'll know exactly what it is, where it's from. But, you have people on there that don't know exactly how to properly be like, oh, that looks like amber. It's like, no, it's a carnelian agate. And, it's hard, because I hope that those groups continue to kind of help people along the way as far as like learning what stuff is. I mean, Oregon is pretty easy. We're pretty basic as far as minerals go. Washington, I think, has a lot more variety as far as stuff, just in general. So it's, and for the pandemic, that also kind of helped boost things too, because there was another large Facebook Rockhound group that pretty much put a halt on things, and they just didn't let people post anymore. And I think all those people that had that outlet needed a new outlet, and caused those groups to blow up. It's a lot of work, and I have team members that try to do damage control in my absence, because family, work, and for those that don't know, trying to manage a group with a large amount of people where fights can break out. It is what it is. It happens.
It's like herding cats.
Yeah. It can be frustrating, and I've had times where people like threaten to sue me for whatever reason because someone's trying to sell like some stolen rock when it wasn't my group they were talking about. They were talking about someone else's group, but we're so confused what was going on. It's like, this is not my group. I don't allow sales.
I mean, ultimately, though, what if you had to a mulligan on it? Would you make them again? Would you keep them?
That is a good question. So,
because I mean, realistically, for a large, 25,000 plus people, you're their rock club, effectively. So
the answer can go both ways. If I could do it again, yes and no. No being, it takes up a lot of time. It really does, especially when you're getting hundreds of requests every day, and like, it's no joke. And we have to deny a lot of them because they don't answer the questions. So then you have people that come in that agree to the questions but don't follow the rules. So it takes up a lot of time, and it can be frustrating when you create a page specifically for something that's supposed to be positive and trying to address certain negative aspects and not come across as mean, because we don't want people, make it seem like I'm a big old meanie because I'm trying to follow the rules. It's like, please respect the rules, and try to be nice about it. So in that aspect, it's yes and no. Sorry, my answering that is not exactly easy.
You have a do-over in this hypothetical situation. Okay, you can go back and be like, nah, screw Facebook, I'm not doing it. What are you doing? What's your answer?
If I can do it over again, yes, but to an extent. If I could do it over again, I would do yes, but I would probably either sell the rights or give it to someone else to keep it going. That way I can focus on my own thing, because I've taken on more projects in these later years than when I first started that. Mm-hmm. And I had no intention. I had no idea these groups would have grown as big as they did. And I love these groups. I mean, I went as far as trademarking the Oregon Rockhound logo and name. It was an expensive process. But to that extent, it's really hard, because at that same flip of the coin, I would do it again, because it is an outlet for other people to express their hobby and get into it, because it is a growing hobby again. And it's also, I've made it a way for people that are in here, Washington, Oregon, where if you have a YouTube channel, like, I am allowing people to post their channels here locally. Mm-hmm. And not all Facebook groups allow that, because they don't want like any kind of self-promotion. So
if I can make one suggestion for the groups, if somebody posts a photo of a rock asking for identification and somebody responds back with a food item, you just ban them.
Oh,
they're gone.
You're gone.
I've
so
deleted.
That happens.
I've deleted, and I'm sure my moderators have deleted hundreds.
That's funny.
Of people that keep posting, oh, hey, that looks like meatballs, or
it does though, you guys.
No. Well, Karen,
My-
Karen, I have a question for you then. Well, I mean, you're in Oregon. I assume you're in the Oregon Rockhounds group. What's your takeaway on it since you see this going on, but you're not like the owner of it, moderator?
Don't pull punches. I won't hurt
let's
you.
hear it.
I won't hold it
Do you
against
think
you.
it's good, bad? What is it?
Oh yeah, no, like from an outsider's point of view, I am a moderator on a couple of other pages. So I am a bit biased, but I have to say, for the most part, the stuff that goes on is what it is. You don't want to see, like, if it's a no sales page, don't have sales. If it's, folks like getting like the sucker punch in on like that's meatballs or whatever, like I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but I know somebody's got to take it down, and I have to take it down from certain sites too. But like, so I get a guffaw off of even some of the people that are miscreants online, because you know what? Hey, they're out there in society. Like the same society.
Yeah, Rockhounding is no exception. I mean, they're there. So
it's the same as walking down the street. You're gonna have like, this percentage of this kind of people and that percentage of that, and it's okay.
Mhm.
And so you deal with it. But for the most part, like I said again, I like going to the Oregon Rockhounding page and seeing, especially if I'm not getting my fix, like I want to see what other people are finding and stuff like that. And I think that there's a certain, after a while, there's a certain amount of etiquette that people kind of get tempered to. And of course, Kyle hopes that they get tempered in that, in the door. That doesn't happen because they didn't read the rules. But, not everybody's going to give up their site. Not everybody's going to like want to talk about like, maybe where they were. They want to show off the gorgeous piece of the rock, and maybe they need to get a description, or rather a definition for like, what do I have here? And they're taking the blurry picture against their jeans, and you're just like, please. So there's upsides and downsides to it, but I think, again, it's more on the positive side. I do like I love being a part of the Oregon Rockhound, site or the page. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's one thing I did notice. Like the overall attitude on that page compared to Washington's a little bit different, because they're used to how things are ran. Like they understand the rules, which for anyone that's on that group, thank you.
Hey, Oregon.
I just gotta say it. The Washington Rockhound group can get wild at times.
It can.
Where you look at it and then you're like, oh, something seems like there's a problem here. And you go from 20 comments to 40 to like 320 in like minutes of just people just like angrily pounding at their keyboards.
Oh my gosh, is there that much less vitamin D like at that latitude or what?
So like I said, it goes back to how fast that group grew.
Yeah.
It didn't have any good structure as far as understanding the rules and why the rules are there. And so it grew so fast, like there's no good support system. And
so how do you feel? I mean, we all have YouTube channels here. I mean, essentially, if you have a YouTube channel, you're like the dictator. You're the person on the throne of it. You what you say goes. Do you guys like this platform better?
So, Karen, let me go first, so I can.
Yeah, I'm nodding my head furiously. I think YouTube is awesome, and here's why. Because somebody can go ahead and put out their opinion or their truism or the actual researched truthy stuff, and people decide whether or not that stuff is valid. They either watch it or they don't. They have like complete autonomy over whether or not they decide to go for it. And so what I like about this platform is that folks, when I wanted to learn how to Viking weave, what did I do? I YouTubed it and I learned. You want to learn how to wrap stones? YouTube it. You want to learn how a certain machine works? YouTube it. You want to learn how to clean your machine or service your machine by yourself? You don't want to have to like send it back to the company? YouTube it. Because you know what? That's probably there. And if somebody hacked it through and didn't do the right thing, you're going to find out really quick. And guess what? Thumbs up, you're out. You know, and like on to the next video. It's got a wonderful gleaning system where, you know what, quality rises to the top. Awesome.
Yeah.
You know, no arguments. No,
I
nothing.
agree.
I love it.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's high effort content.
Yeah.
It takes virtually no effort to type out a couple of lines, you know, but to produce a 10, 15, 25-minute video requires a lot of, you really got to want this. And it does, like, there's a big difference between YouTube and TikTok, just the amount of effort that is required to do they're two different beasts, you know?
Yeah.
So it's funny you brought that up. So TikTok and YouTube, you know, they're both video platforms. For those that don't know what TikTok is, which I'd be surprised if you didn't at this point. It's very interesting. Do any of you follow the Blind Woodsman at all?
Nope.
So he is a blind guy that does amazing woodworking, and he's actually local to Washington. They have, I think it was 1 million followers on TikTok, but they only have like, I think, several thousand on YouTube. It's like, why is he blowing up on TikTok and making like a penny for every 1,000 views? Or they can start making content on YouTube and grow that and make more in ad revenue than you would in many, many videos on TikTok.
Not views are not created equal. And when I say that, like, from a financial standpoint, I mean, advertisers pay more for this platform than the other ones.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a reason.
Your eyeballs 15 minutes into a video are worth more than, I don't know, somebody doing a dance video where they point at things, like, whatever, you know. Like, what is that? Like, what
Or what's the other one?
Oh yeah.
That's the only time I'm gonna do that.
I refuse to know what that is.
So serious.
So YouTube has started implementing shorts. I mean, they started doing that a little ways ago.
A while ago.
They started doing it a while ago. Thank you. And which is fine for, you know, they're trying to get people to kind of veer off TikTok and come back to YouTube so they can have all those eyes again. Well, if you make a video that's less than a minute, you know, it's considered a shorts video, but you're still only making about a penny per 1,000 views.
Yep.
Yeah, but you don't have to take part in the like crazy TikTok culture.
No.
See, that's why I won't do it. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That's an editorial and that's an opinion. So, you know, that's just my taste. I'm not dissing anybody that's doing it. It's just that, like, I can't do it. I can't watch those. That's not my rabbit hole.
TikTok. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
No, you go. I was just going to say something stupid. Never mind.
I was going to say that TikTok, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, it's more of an advertisement for my channel. Like, I'm not really putting a whole lot of like effort or time into making videos, because even if my TikTok were to ever ungodly reach a stupid number, like, that's great. But how long is TikTok gonna last? Like it did Vine before Vine went out. Whereas YouTube's been around for,
it might outlive YouTube. We don't know.
Place your bets.
I have no idea.
I
heard somebody cringe.
They have the staying power of YouTube. No. You know, you don't have communities built around a person's channel, you know, on TikTok or whatever. Like, it's just, we do here, you know, like, that's what it is. And I mean, that's the way I see it. I think this is the superior superior platform.
What do you guys think about the potential of them ripping the thumbs up, thumbs down thing?
So they've already said that they're going to get rid of the thumbs down here on YouTube and keep the thumbs up, which is
weird.
I think it's I understand. I watched for maybe we could throw in a link down below, but YouTube, they put out a monthly video for creators to watch with kind of like changes coming to this platform. And one of the things was they're going to be getting rid of the thumbs down because of people having their feelings hurt when they get too many down votes on a video. And my thoughts on that are, well, I personally like the thumbs up and thumbs down, because if I go to look at a video on installing a ceiling fan and it has 100 thumbs up and 3,000 down, I'm like, there's something wrong here, right?
Yeah. Right, and bruises on the guy's head.
Like, why is this thing getting ratioed like that? Which is not normal. And then I think if you're really concerned about people's feelings, I think there's gonna be a lot more mean comments, right? Because the people that would passively just be like, I don't like this, thumbs down, they're gonna be leaving a mean, nasty comment, which is
if you can,
way worse to receive.
Yeah.
If you like I've noticed on videos like that, if that channel has like a bunch of thumbs down on that video, more likely the comment section are going to be cut off, so that way people can't constantly like bash them about how poor quality or how that's not how something's done or whatnot. But yeah, I like the thumbs down because it does help whenever you're wanting to learn how to do something. And you click on a video, and like you said, like if it has 3,000 compared to like 100 likes,
it's
like
the ratio.
Kind of, yeah. But like the video link that you posted about the YouTube creators thing in the group, I just watched that, and they were saying like how like if it's somebody from a company or not from a company, but if somebody posted a video and then someone else doesn't like them and that company doesn't like them, they go and like do the thumbs down. Like I haven't experienced or like coming across a video like that's like that bad of a ratio.
I will say that video is probably the most hated video on YouTube within the 7 hours time span that video is out.
Yeah,
and my joke
it's got
for
an
that,
incredible ratio, right?
My joke for that is, hey, it looks like you didn't implement that fast enough because you got like 10,000 downvotes.
I saw that.
Oh, that's gotta suck.
I still think that this platform is ultimately really, really good. I mean, we have such a body of work here that you can't replicate, you know. I mean, videos from 14 years ago and on. And I mean, even just our own channels here, you show a progress of you
start to finish. Or start to current.
Yeah.
Growing up,
learning
to
eventually
crawl
we'll all be finished here, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I mean, I think it's good. I would encourage everybody though to think big picture and think about what's next. And I think having a website for yourself, having your own platform, your own playground, your own sandbox is the direction that I think I would like to see a lot of people go, because you never know, you know. And I mean, websites they're fun and easy, and they give you a place to put all of your stuff, you know.
Yeah, like heard of the conversations that me and you have had like over the last couple months, which I know we haven't really talked in a couple months, but like prior to earlier this year, I like from you mentioning that, I went ahead and I bought a website, and like I haven't published it yet because my computer crashed, and I just don't. I'm waiting to get a computer to start that up again, but I'm thinking in the bigger picture, bigger sandbox field, thanks to you. So appreciate that.
Well, I can't wait to see your site when it's up.
Nice. It's difficult, I think, spinning those plates. You know, keeping a YouTube channel going takes a lot of effort, as you guys all aforementioned. You know, especially if you're on a schedule where you're putting out a video a week or whatever your frequency is. And then if you have also a website that you're constantly making sure is maintained. And then if you have like a business attached to it, like I do,
Mhm.
you're like, there's so much going on that you can get yourself pretty overwhelmed pretty quick. And I love having the own sandbox, and I love having the autonomy of a channel, and being able to offer the information to everyone. And then at the same time, you're going like, wow, this is a full-time job, Jared. It is.
Yeah.
People go like, living the dream, and you're going like, I am working, more than most, like 10, 12-hour days on the thing for sure.
I mean, well, for me, it's constant,
Yeah,
I mean, and
constant.
my schedule is very far out. So the videos that I'm working on today are stuff for like the end of January.
Get out of the like century, dude. Like,
so like I'm trying to like
to be that S together.
Yeah. So, I'm surrounded by just papers of things here, trying to formulate these videos and like organize it and plan everything. And I mean, I have a lot of big projects that I'm trying to work on. And if it was just, I can't just go do them, they take weeks and months of planning. So.
And money.
And money. It does cost money to go.
There's the time money thing too, though. Like so much of it, like, if you've got the skills, we were talking earlier about being able to, build stuff for yourself. Like if you're creating your own tools and that sort of thing, that's like not so much on the money side, but actually time side and, skill side. And so it's interesting how much like absorption of time, and you're going like, wow, it might be easier to just like throw down some cash on this thing, but like, so it's interesting.
It's kind of funny that you bring that up. Something that I've been thinking about a lot, that you can't just throw money down on are chisels, right? Like
yeah,
chisels. So here's the
chisels.
thing. You guys may not know this. You literally cannot buy a good chisel.
You can't buy a good, thank you.
Like they do not exist. They're not I'm that. So as far as chisels go for breaking rocks, I'm going to be making my own because
nice.
And making a video.
Can't buy what I want.
To learn.
So,
please.
What?
Making a video for us to learn from, please.
Yeah, so I want to I have all the chisels that you like buy at like a Home Depot, right? Like they're meant for concrete. That's what they're meant for. You can get real carving chisels, but they usually have carbide tips brazed on them, and that's not really conducive to what I do, which I mostly use my chisels for a series of splits and wedges and things like that. Yeah. And they're all not great, and they all get messed up really easily because they use low quality metal.
Right.
The heat treat on the tips are always bad, and I think I can. The bar is set really low for doing a good job with this project.
This is so hopeful. I cannot believe you're even like talking about this because, I'm sure that Kyle and Kurt, both of you, when you've done a little bit of hard rock and you're just going like, this thing is like a crayon.
Yeah, it gets flat really easily.
Yeah, like, I'm making marks on the rock. That's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to break out.
Yeah, they're always a letdown. They're always a letdown.
That's why I typically use my my rock picks for my pointy chisels, and people have given me kind of some flack for it. Like, you can't be hitting hammer and hammer. And I'm like, it works.
It works.
And
that's what matters.
As long as I'm being safe about it, that's fine. I mean, people have also pointed out that I was wearing open-toed shoes whenever I'm cracking open concretion.
Which is always Kurt as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like when I'm not working, it's either sandals outside or no shoes at all. But yeah, I mean, Do a video because we would like to see.
Yeah,
some-
well, I mean, most of what we do is hard rock. Like, I think I'm almost up to 300 public videos and then another 50 or 60 private ones. And I think we've gone to creeks 3 times.
Yeah.
So we really, we do a lot of hard. It's all hard rock.
You're digging in your semen, and like, yeah, the cracking of the rocks. I can't believe how fast I'm rubbing out tools.
Mhm.
And you're going like, it's got to be better than this. There's got to be something. I missed the one tool in my like kit that was supposed to be here, and I'm not finding it though. Is what you're and thank you for clarifying, because I thought that once again I must be remiss. I must be just missing that one thing that everybody has that I just don't, because I'm like out there hard rock on a seam, and nope, I'm just smearing the damn tools all over the place, and like, okay, that's broken now, and the rock's still there. And so yeah, that's really heartening. Hey everybody, like someday Jared's gonna offer us like this panacea for hard rock mining. Stay tuned.
Well, not to shift subject so briefly, so abruptly. Let's get into show and tell.
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
Jared, you're first.
Me. Okay.
Guests always go first.
So you're not going to be able to see much with this thing, and I know that. But I sent photos to Kyle, and he can slam those into the podcast right now. The first photo will be of a bunch of big basalt pillows. Now, these are incredibly unique basalt pillows. There's also a bunch of tube structures there, and I'll give you the rundown of this because I think this is fascinating, and stay with me. I'm going somewhere with this. So what happens when you take lava and you dump it into water is that it will rapidly cool. Steam is produced because it's hot, and you get a pillowing effect. Now, these are unique because they are covered in basaltic glass. So not obsidian being a very low viscosity extrusive lava that's comes out and it's very thick and it doesn't go anywhere for the most part. Kind of stays where it came out. Even the big obsidian flow down by the Newberry caldera is relatively
Newberry.
It's big to us, but geologically it's like teeny tiny when you compare it to other big basalt flows.
Yeah.
But so this is a really unique location here, where we have pillowed basalt covered in basaltic glass, and there's also brown plagonite around it. And we have tubes. So these big tubes, that's like a big worm in the photo squirting out of lava. This is kind of also unique because when I was there, I found this rock, and I went down there because I was talking to Kyle about basaltic glass and obsidian and these things. And I've never seen this before, but I cracked this thing open, and there is a bug in here with a mystery mineral lining it that I have no clue what this is. It doesn't match anything that I've ever seen before. All of my tests come back not helpful. And in theory, you should not have this, how to put it? Generally speaking, in pillowed basalt, you do not get trapped gases like that. You shouldn't generally have big vugs in it. So I'm wondering what this mineral is. I have some theories, but nothing concrete. It does fluoresce and phosphoresce, which there's some photos of that as well. And I think it's pretty interesting to be able to see this. And the whole area, it's like 10 minutes from my house, so it's super convenient to go back over and over and over again. Nice. But one other neat thing that we were observing today when we were down there is we have a number of locations here that have basaltic glass log casting which
That's cool.
That's awesome.
That sounds really
is very cool. And
interesting.
I think I
Yeah,
found
got you
I think
on
I found
that.
another one. We have an area that these are very well documented, and like it is, although it kind of sounds like a wacky thing almost that you might see in a Facebook group oh hey, like these basalt logs, and it looks like this, therefore it is this, but these are actually it's true. So you have these lavas coming from the Oregon, Idaho, Washington border area and flowing up here towards Spokane, and they were flowing so fast that they would swallow logs. And when that would happen, and logs are generally, I think, really wet, you would get a outer crust of that log, and then the log carbonizes and rots away, and you have this casting on the inside. And then oftentimes more lava squirts into that later, burning up that remaining log wood in there. And then you have this kind of like a shell, you have a casting of a log in lava with basaltic glass on the outside, and you can whatever, it broke off that outer shell of it, and you can see this thing, and it's like, that's a log. A log in basalt. So it's a very interesting area, and the geology is fascinating. And now I have a mystery on my hands.
How are you going to proceed? I'm dying to know.
So it doesn't match anything. My theory, okay, and don't hold my feet to the fire on any of this, is that we have a bunch of minerals that are in the salt being leached out and into these bugs. And that's why it's only a super thin crust. There's nothing solid there, right? Like I can pull it out with my fingers and just like crumble it. It's almost like, what is this stuff? I think that might be part of it. I honestly don't know a whole lot about basaltic glass and plagonite. So I reached out to a really awesome geologist out here in Eastern Washington University for some help, because all of the tests, all of the things aren't helping me here.
That sounds great.
So,
yeah, this is what I was hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, you can only do so much with it. And
Right.
To go back a little bit to what Kyle was saying about the geology here in Washington being complex, and I'll send him a photo to throw in here of just a geological map, and every color is something very different. And if you just look at a geological map of like Northeast Washington, you're gonna be like, this is very complex geology, very complex geology, to the point now where like I'm at a point where when somebody sends like photos to me and be like, oh, hey, what is this thing? If there's not GPS with where you found it, I'm just like, give me the GPS. Like,
Yeah.
the location is the most critical thing. If I showed you the rock that I showed you right now, without the context that I just gave you, without that backstory, you'd be like, no.
I want terrains. I want to know, like out here, that's everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, you need to, location. Businesses, rocks, location.
Yeah. It's unilateral. Perfect.
Anything
So that's
else?
my show and tell.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's a cliffhanger. Before I go on, I would love for you to update us on that as we come along, Jared, because I think that all of us would love to know what your mystery mineral.
I mean, I wish it was something really great, like it was like a zeolite or like something awesome,
It's gonna be great any way you slice it.
I really think it might just be minerals being pulled out of the basalt as it's cooling and being trapped in a gas bubble. So,
that answer is an answer.
Yeah.
I like answers. So I'm satiated no matter, if it's like a little bit of cat food or if it's a smash cake for me to eat. So I'm good with that. And that being said, my show and tell, you guys know that I took part in Theo's Makers Challenge 2. And
Makers Challenge 2.
Thank Thank you, movie guy.
You're welcome.
If everyone in the rock community made a video.
I think the trick would be to like try to say that without moving my lips. That way I don't have to do any editing later.
Ventriloquist movie guy. Yeah,
This
then you'd
summer.
like you would have a job in Hollywood, no doubt. So I found a Jasper on one of the local beaches, and it was a big one, and I thought I was going to cut it with a big rock saw. And what was really funny is I actually got a big rock saw, and weeks before I got the big rock saw, I talked to Theo about the invitation to the Makers Challenge. So like I started moving my head into what might this big rock be, and I got this big old saw. And if it had been just like a week different, this thing would have been sliced bread and there would have been no sculpture. And so instead, we have, oh, it's interesting. Of course, Kyle is going to show us the big picture, but you can see probably if you didn't see the video itself, you're getting a little bit more perspective as to how big it is. This is how big this guy is. Mohs hardness scale 7+. There's marcasite and all kinds of other minerals in here that made it especially a challenge on one side. One side is very, very marcasite, Jasper, dark material, hard as buckets, and it like killed every single diamond thing I put into it. And then on this side, oh, look at that eye. Hi. So on this side, it's oolitic, I believe. And so there's these little orbs of material, plus there's a bunch of druzy quartz on this side. And so it was a little bit softer on this side for the carving. So what does Karen do? I do less carving on this side, and I do like all the carving on this side. I don't know why that happened. It's a little but this is my little Pacifica octopus that happened out of an over 10-pound 9x5 by a little over 5 piece of Jasper. And 3 weeks later, the carving was done, and you know, it was an absolute pleasure. I can't wait to do the next one. Why are we masochists, you guys? Why do we do this to ourselves?
He said just a simple cutting and polishing video will suffice.
Yep.
And none of us, nobody has done a basic cutting and polishing video. So I just might break that little. I think my challenge this next year, I'm just gonna cut and polish rock. Just done. Goodbye.
Do it.
I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. I already have something in mind.
And I'm sure Jared's already done with his, you know, like he's
Yeah.
probably already like
Probably
got
so.
the made.
He made a whole pizza, and I'm making the olives for him next time. So he doesn't have to
I'm
worry
just
about
gonna
the
make
obsidian.
I'm just gonna make a octopus, you know, just it'd be like put it on a giant necklace.
That was so funny when you did that with the pizza slice at the
Yes.
very end.
Yeah, the Flava Flav.
Yes.
Slice of
That's-
Flav.
just pro tip: it was just duct tape on the back. And there you go. That's how you attach stones to fake gold chains.
I don't
Billy
think
Mays
so.
here.
It's not gonna work. I'm not doing
Well, I
that.
think with flex tape that would work.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you can hold a boat together, wink,
Yeah.
wink.
Oh
You
wait,
can hold the engine
are you,
together too.
are you making a stone boat?
Oh
For
man,
your
if-
Maker's Project? Is that what was that?
Oh
what the wink
my
wink was?
gosh.
I think
Oh,
we
you-
figured it out.
Stone boat.
He's
Huh.
making a stone rowboat. I knew it.
Oh man.
Oh wait, or is it like a stone dugout canoe? Or are you just gonna like grind?
oh, that'd be so cool,
There you go.
huh? Anyway,
Called it.
He's like, change the subject before you
For a
ruin my idea.
spider. For a small animal. Rodent, maybe.
no, both got to be big. I'm big boy. I got to fit in both foot float.
Oh my!
Ouch.
Can't stay tuned, folks. Spring Makers Challenge.
Yeah, we're gonna get Kyle a big piece of pumice that already floats, and he can just hollow that thing out.
That
I'm
would be
seeing the
amazing.
bubbles, like the
Yes.
bubbles rising to the surface. of
And
the
I will
convoy.
dress like Huckleberry Finn. Kurt, what you got?
The pond is roaring.
My piece is this dragon's blood capuchon that I made. Kyle
Bravo.
will throw up the picture of it so you guys can better see. That was a lot of fun making. I've always wanted a large piece of dragon's blood, but polished, so I decided to make it a large capuchon. And then on one of the recent hikes we went on, that I did not bring my phone on, and I found something really cool, is this piece of rhyolite, and it has little bitty veins of red and orange agate running through it. So I'm gonna do a video, not this week, but next week, of cutting this open and maybe polishing, depending on what's on the inside. But yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot since you probably didn't see the pictures, Jared, but there's some like red and orange agate on there. But I think it would be a really cool piece to cut open. I want to find more of this, but every time I find some of this rhyolite, it's just like one piece by itself, and then the rest is just basalt or sandstone.
So
We need to find Mr. Pocket.
There's more. Just gotta find it.
You gotta track down the geological story there. You gotta figure out why you got a one-off.
Yeah, that happens a lot over here in Parachute. So
it's like a mountain, like a hillside area.
It's pretty hilly, mountainy around. More mountainy. Everything in this like little area is mostly basalt, very volcanic. You don't find much agates, much rhyolite, anything really, unless you're down in the on the riverbed.
Anything else for show and tell?
There was one other piece I was gonna show, but I don't know what I did with it. Hold on.
Or what Coconut did with it.
Oh wait, I'm sitting on it. It's I didn't send pictures of this, but it's like a piece of like limestone that's been agatized with a bunch of little tiny like crinoid and gastropod and brachiopod fossils in it that I found out in Kentucky near Elizabethtown.
Nice.
But I'm gonna send y'all some of this, so I know Karen will have a fun time looking at it under the microscope. But I don't know if the phone will focus on it, but
you can always send me some pictures too.
It. Yeah, I'll do that.
Editing magic.
Yes. But that's my show and tell.
Thank you, Kurt.
Yes, thank you. And that brings it to my show and tell, which is I'll end up putting a picture up on my face. I just did a little piece of fire obsidian for this Wednesday's
Just
video.
a little piece of fire obsidian.
Yeah, I'll have to do a picture for sure because this is not going to show it very well. But it's one of those things where I was working on a different video for this Wednesday, and it has never got done. It's mostly done. It's just not done. So I just did a quick little fire obsidian video, 18 minutes of work, another like half an hour, 45 minutes of editing, all for like a video that was about 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
I don't even think it was. I think it was like 2.5 minutes. I think it was. So kept it super short this week, just to say, hey, I'm here.
Don't forget about me.
There have been times where I've almost considered like just posting every other week, just because I want to get caught up, but I also don't want to slip into going from posting every week to only posting every other week and have people kind of like stop watching my content, because I do want people to watch my content and know that I'm here.
Yeah,
because that's what people are used to, and that's what people don't realize about content creators. If you have someone that posts noticeably once a month or posts every 3 weeks, people know that person's posting at that time intervals. So if you started like posting every week and you've been doing that for like the last year, and all of a sudden you're not posting every week, usually a lot of people will notice.
Yep.
It's kind of hard.
Yep.
It's not that I'm running out of ideas. It's just I'm busy.
Yep.
because I do have some cool ideas. I want to do a bismuth video where where I make bismuth crystals, because that'd be kind of fun. Never did that before.
Oh, that'd be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Do you think if you were posting less, you would get less views?
Yes and no. And I say that because I've seen other videos out there, or other channels out on YouTube just in general, where they've said they're going to post like every day or like every week at a specific time, and they did that for a short period of time, and they just didn't. Like, they just stopped posting like all the time. And there have been channels that just blew up just because they had one really awesome video that they did, and it blew up. And so they're still getting a bunch of views, which is awesome. But I think, since I'm kind of like on the lower end of, as far as like followers go, like, I think if I were to cut back on my upload times, it might actually affect growth, people wanting to view my content actually getting out there. It probably would affect my viewership.
So I was posting 3 videos a week for like a year. I did Tuesday, Thursday videos, like rockhounding or something, and then Saturday video. And then for this winter, I've switched. So now I'm just doing 1 video a week and then the Saturday video. And my views have stayed the same. I'm gaining the same number of subscribers per month, exactly the same. Like, I thought I was going to see like a dip, because I'm posting only 2/3 of the content, and I have not seen any change whatsoever. So
I think as long as you're like posting, like you've been on YouTube a lot longer than me, so this is just an opinion. I think as long as you're posting like at least 1 video a week, it keeps the algorithm from like dropping too low to where people won't see you won't see that much of a really change. But like I think going from posting 1 video a week to every other week, like I've noticed, like on my videos, like if I too busy and can't get to that video and post it, I'll make a post about it. But I've noticed it hurts my algorithm if I have to miss a week.
Yeah, I saw a pretty hard dip when a year ago when River was born, because I had taken a quick break, and it took a hit on my channel, like, because I wasn't posting anything, so there's no activity going. I was still responding to whatever comments were coming through, but it's hard when you want to take a quick break just for your own sanity. You have to think ahead of time to have content ready for the week or 2 weeks that you want to take a break, take a step back, and focus on other projects. Mm-hmm. So you have to think ahead of time.
Definitely.
I think if you want to be good at it, I think treating it like you would going to the gym. It's consistency, planning, follow through.
100%.
You just plug away at it. I think that's what I do. I don't know what
you do a good job.
For anyone
positive.
Else, but, and then I've pretty much also stopped looking at the analytics entirely.
That's good.
I just stop. Like, for those of you that don't actually run channels, we have this great analytic page. It shows a great statistical breakdown of everything. And I know that the advice out there is to always pay attention to your analytics. And I'm like, nah. I feel a little over it. I just want to make helpful content. And I feel like if it's helpful, it's a success, even if it doesn't garner max views. Like, I don't want that. Like, sure, yeah, it's great. Like when you have a video that has 100,000 plus views or whatever. And but ultimately, I think having utility is what I want. So,
which By the way, congratulations on hitting 18,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You're on your way to 20.
I think I'll be at 19 when this thing airs. See.
That's awesome.
We'll see. But yeah, no, it's subscribers don't actually mean a whole lot on YouTube. You know, I mean, you can have 100,000 subscribers, but if you get 100 views on an upload, you don't have 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Good point.
So,
yeah,
you know,
we love you, subscribers, though.
Yeah, we
oh
do.
yeah.
Please
Subscribe to the Rockhound Podcast. There's a button down below. You guys, hit the button, notification bell.
We do love you. Right.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to entirely. If you're putting your energy in out doing a thing, working on your project, that you want people to be able to watch the thing that you're doing, right?
Yes.
So
it's hard too, because like you can have like a video where you fast forward through stuff, just kind of saving time, because a lot of it is pretty boring to watch. Like of just sitting there standing a stone, and you post a short version, but you get like mixed messages, because you do have that audience out there that do want to see a more longer format of, well, how are you doing that? Like, what motions are you using with your hands, you know, on the stone to the wheel, which I totally get. And I've actually considered making a separate, like, unlisted video and tag it in that shorter version. So for the people that do want to watch a more longer version, they have that outlet. Yeah. I just haven't gotten to that point yet, because
and
time.
I also think it has to do with like how your channel was, I guess, like made off of, like kind of like you're mostly lapidary, so like mine was strictly mainly rock hounding, but then like this last like year, or this last like summer until now, it's been mostly lapidary, and I've only been getting like 200-300 views. Now, like I've known, like if I post a rock hounding video, I know I'll get easily 500 or more. Yeah. But if I post a polishing lapidary video, maybe 200. If I do a cutting video, maybe 300-400. It's weird.
People like the adventures.
Yeah,
they like the scenery. They like to see people out. I've seen the same thing happen on my channel. I'm sure if my ratio to lapidary to, you know, adventure videos was like more even, whereas I'm going out more often than I am in the shop, I'm sure I'd probably get more views. But gas is expensive.
It is.
And I am not too afraid to admit that I am frugal. And which is why I was trying to save on a trip during the summer, trying to hit several spots. Figured I'm already out here. I might also make the extra trip up the mountain, go make several videos, and I have weeks, you know, several weeks worth of video I can release each week, and I can focus on other stuff. And that's why I was a little bummed when I couldn't execute that. And I'm like, now I have to make a second trip. Because
like, I know what you mean. Like, I've never thought about that. Like until I talked to Jared like months ago. He said, while you're out, go ahead and do like 2, 3, 4 videos. It makes up. And it never even crossed my mind. I've always tried shoving like everything from that day into one video, and then it's like 3 videos sound way better.
Yeah. I mean, if you're spending the time, energy, and gas money to go somewhere, maximize it, you know.
And so many places have so many things to offer.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the front side of the Steens and the back side of the Steens and the Alvord Desert, and, you know, a little bit farther up for the Plume Agate. And it's just that it seems like, you know, people are probably more interested in the material, not necessarily your day. And so give them the entire experience. You know, maybe a couple of hours of your rock hounding was just off of the Richter. Give them that. You know, you drove up the road 50 miles and you hit another spot. There's a whole nother thing, you know, another story.
Yeah. And another part of that is, you know, when you're making these videos, don't be afraid to leave out stuff, because
Yes.
if you're known for if you're known for a certain time wise, as far as videos go, my mountain adventure could have been longer if I had included my drive up the mountain, because I recorded the entire drive up the mountain because it was a nice weekend drive, beautiful fall colors and all the trees. And if I had included that, people would have seen that I had let someone pass me, and then down the road they ended up in a ditch. I almost want to make a short clip of that because it was interesting. Super nice kids, but if you're falling too close behind me on a very windy road, I'm gonna let you pass. Sure enough, ditch. But yeah,
Cool.
words of wisdom, Jared. Yeah, what do you got?
My words of wisdom. If you have the opportunity to go rock hounding with somebody that is more knowledgeable than yourself, or like kind of a more expert in their field, take them up on it. Ask them a million questions. All right. When I was down in Utah, I had the opportunity to meet this guy, Ryan, and Ryan has a geology degree. We went rock hounding together. I was totally out of my element. Totally different place. And he put up with all of my questions. So,
Nice. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah. So definitely take people up on that if you have the opportunity.
Well, if I go to Washington sometime next year for an entire weekend, I might be reaching out and be like, hey, I need to make like 2 months worth of videos. Let's go hit some spots.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just go bang them out in a weekend.
Love it. I think that this actually is kind of a wonderful precursor to mine, because Steve and I were out rock hounding and we met this dude, and we were like hanging out in the hot springs after a day, and dude was telling us all about stuff. And what was really funny is that he was telling us all about something that like Steve was actually super proficient at, but he never asked Steve at all. And then he talked to me about actually he was like an aspiring artist, and he was going to go get into galleries, and he had no idea he was talking to an ex-gallery owner that had connections, because you know what? He didn't ask. And so my words of wisdom are: 1, don't assume what somebody else knows or doesn't know. 2, when you don't know, someone else probably does. And 3, ask if you don't know.
Because you don't know if
It's
you don't
almost
ask.
like we planned this, Karen.
I know, right? Crazy.
Yeah.
Kurt.
So mine, I had I'm not sure if they were a subscriber, but someone left a comment on one of my tumbling videos. In the video, I forgot. I was so focused on the video and on the rocks, I completely forgot to add water in with the rocks to tumble, and closed it up. But someone left a comment saying like, "Why are you videoing if you don't know what you're doing?"
Aww.
Well, it's like videoing is fun, and like for anyone that like gets a comment like that, like video, like only way you're gonna know what you're doing is to jump in and try it out and like learn from your mistakes and so forth. So like half the time I don't know what I'm doing. This project that I'm gonna do soon, I have no idea how I'm gonna do it, how I'm gonna start. It's like I just jump into things and then teach myself on how to do it. There's no instructions, so just don't let people like turn you down or make you feel bad or any way of such. Just have fun doing it and learn as you go.
That's number 4. That's awesome. That is actually number 4. Like if like someone else knows or doesn't know, but you don't know and somebody probably does, and then ask if you don't know. But if nobody comes forth, do it anyway.
Yeah.
And exactly. Videotape it, and somebody else is going to go ahead and correct you, and you can go from there. I love it.
Now, Kyle, you got number 5.
Okay. So I was going to go with turn off your phones once a week. But
Oh man, yes.
That's okay.
Yes.
Non sequitur.
but I think I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to say be patient with projects. And I say that because I had an instance where fairly recently I was going to repair an old broken project that I did. And I was going to try something I had never did before. I was going to mix 2-part epoxy with, oh gosh, it's that weird silvery mica powder. And I figured it'd be really cool. And so I mixed everything together. I just took a random moss agate slab, just broke it on the ground, no big deal. And so I broke it, I glued it back together, and I was being very impatient because typically what I'll do is if I'm gluing something with a 2-part epoxy, I'll put everything together. I'll leave the glue aside, like the excess, and then I'll wait like 10, 15 minutes, and I'll pull on the Q-tip that I used like to stir it with. And if it sticks, like if it's not wanting to let go, it's cured enough for me to go in there and like clean up all the excess. Well, I didn't wait long enough, and I can tell that where everything is broken, it was actually flexing. And I'm like, oh god, this was a mistake. Like I messed up. And I was recording all this, like this whole process. And towards the end of that, I'm like, this is messed up. Like I can't do this. I deleted all the videos I just took.
Oh.
Put the glued stone, set it aside. Came back several days later, and it's actually cured. Like it's like sturdy. And I'm like, if I had just waited, and allowed the glue to actually properly cure like it's supposed to. So I'm sure somewhere in that very tiny fine print, it'll probably say like for best cure time, 72 hours, because that's typically the normal for glues. And I just didn't wait. But I did learn through this trial and error process that this will actually work. It's just I had to give it more time to actually dry. Only downside is I had this image in my head of using this mica powder to adhere like this project back together, and it'd be really cool to, once it's all adhered, clean off the excess glue, you have like little streaks of silver going through this project. It doesn't really, it's just so thin, it doesn't have that really cool effect, which is kind of a bummer. So I'm like, oh man, there goes the kintsugi idea. It's out the window.
Yeah, you have to do it proper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So patience, but also turn off your phone once a week because phones are distractions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's it for our words of wisdom. Thank you, Jared, for joining us on another night of ranting and rambling over nonsense, because I guess didn't really give you any solid answers of yes or no on the Facebook groups, and that's just how my brain works. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Well, thank you guys for having me on the show once again. I think this is a record. I think I've been 3 times.
I think 4.
Four times?
Yeah, I think that you're the most repeatingest guest. You're like a demi host.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, and yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
You're welcome. Karen?
Always a wonderful time having you guys on, or having you on, in particular, Jared, and all of your other personalities, if you guys fits. And thank you all for tuning in tonight and hanging on with us all the way to the end. Make sure to give us your show and tell. Time is running out. We're going to go ahead and have this show soon. And so go ahead and post those to Rockhounding or rockhoundroundtable@gmail.com, as well as hitting us up for the invite to our Discord server. And you guys all rock on, keep creating, and all that good stuff. We'll see you next time.
Rock on.